Hello, yawn doomslayers. I expect most of you will be watching the adverts right now. Oh my goodness, on the charts here, you might be able to see. Top left, we've got GME currently. And then down here, we have Bitcoin. Oh my goodness, with the Bitcoins. What are you like saying F? Hello, Brendan. And then down here we have the Bitcoins. Oh, it's pushing up there, back above 40,000. Going for 41. What with this deep retrace scaring folks? Hi, scaredy pants. Though I've got a good guide to Bitcoin with the last all week with me accidentally clicking the wrong freaking. Close that right now so I don't do it again today. Oh, showing my trades, silly Billy, having to delete it out of videos and whatnot. What a extra hassle. Anyway, and then we have Near. It's a favourite of some people. Doing all right there. Doing all right. And of course, welcome to the show. I am Trade Spotting. We're going to look a little at GameStop and G and AMC. If you let. Do you? Hi, Dead Money. Dead Money. He's been there since the beginning, so he has. Used to be called Dead Money All Stars. Now he's just the ghost of Dead Money. But most money belongs to dead people, believe it or not. My 3-year-old came running over like this is our theme song. It is, Jen. That's it. It's all for your 3-year-old. That's what the show is today. It's a celebration. What's that noise? Suspicious dripping noises. Eric, 6 charts still isn't enough for Tristan. Legend has it that every time he blinks, a new chart is implemented in his brain. Yes, implanted. Both. Woo. This is the GME chart on the 1 minute time frame, pushing up higher here. Not as high in the RSI. You got a good momentum on the MACD on a 30-minute time frame. 30 minutes. You can see that you're starting to get another positive go on the histogram. Let's see what that turns into with respect to the previous one. You can see that you potentially have a little bit of a cross coming in on the MACD under 30 minutes. Price action below this 30 to 200 simple period moving average. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. And you can see the RSI pushing above center line though. I like to see that, right? So conflicting signals, suppose you might call them, across the turnip farms. Lower time frames here. Lower. You've got a little bit of bearish divergence. Maybe things come back down. Wouldn't go on the MACD on this time frame. No, we really wouldn't. You can't do all that much here, right? You can't really, right? I mean, you can do all sorts of crazy ass shit. In fact, I mean, you could do this, for example, if you wanted. Say that. You could go like this, and you could go like that, and then you could go like that, and you could go like boo, and then you go like whoa, and then you go like wee, and then you go like woo. You can do all that sort of stuff, actually. Anyway, but on the 5-minute time frame, do 5 minutes. Hello. Then you got this picture on price action similar to that. I just dropped on over there's on down yonder RSI there. So it is there. St. Patrick's Day tomorrow's 236. That'd be recovery of this move, right? Like, you know, that's actually me clicking on a horizontal. We want the Fibonacci. I've got to replace this chair. Oh my god, this is a scam. So there we have the low, and here we have the yo. Hello. Did me you looking for? Yes, you hi over here on that Fibonacci, right? This is for demonstration purposes only. Don't try this at home, folks. It's also one I did earlier. It's 236. You want to get back above that, and then you want to aim for 2/3, right? Get 236 out of the way, and then we'll look for Dow. Give Dow a wee tap on the cheeky. Hey, Dow, yo, boom. And then we were looking at a slap there across the top, right? A slap in the face. I'm right up here. At least give me a slap in the face at 110. Come on. That's what you'd be thinking at that stage. Just a little wake up slap, nothing serious. So here, that 5 minutes, 15-minute time frame, also known as turnip farm. Whoa, big business, them turnips. Do you like turnips? What's your try? Right? Turnips are Swedes. If you don't know, you probably haven't watched the Christmas special. Shame on you. Boom. So there's your highs in a downtrend. It's rank. Here's your low. Breaking through support. Every single low. Hey, support gets screwed. Hey, support gets screwed. Hey, support gets screwed. Right, so you're looking at that thinking, is this all the way down here? Because it keep going on this retracement from this low back up again. That, you know, you went so far against your own move on this Fibonacci that you're thinking, do you go all the way down to the 618? Oh my goodness gracious me. You go back to the weekly time frame. Look at this. This is what we did yesterday. On a different chart, and a dark chart, on a dark country, in a dark town, in a dark neighborhood, in a dark street, in a dark house, down a dark stairway. Price action fell, and it went. It's just, you know, I walked into a door. It said, but we all know it actually, you know, here's your low, and this part price action came back. And it got to the 236, failed. Oh, darn it. And then it got down to this low here, right? Well, here's a new low. Came back up 236 area, and it failed. Ah, darn it. And then it came back down. Here you are at your 236. And price action, we're asking, are you going to come back up here to 236? That'd be up at 103. And then, are you going to do what you've done every other time and break our hearts? As you've done all since November last year. All winter. Oh, it was a cold, barren winter. Heathcliff, where are you? So at this point, we're like, is he ever coming back? You know, it's just us, right? It's just, no, it's not, he's not. Is she coming back? I don't know, right? Whatever your perspective, you better get a comfortable armchair. So, yes, so 236, that's what we're looking to get back above. Lol, it has been. Yes, it has been. Daniel, do you have a brother called Andrew? So, price action here, coming in, right? Touching that 77, that's nice. Just, for full disclosure, right? For full disclosure, GameStop, right? It might explode, right? Just full disclosure, just so that I'm putting all my cards on the table here, just so everybody knows, right? Don't come later. GameStop might explode, right? It might explode, but these are the areas below. You got to be worried, right? You got to be worried. There's also this thing that we call a channel here between mainland Britain and France. We've got this underwater bridge that goes through this body of water, which we call the channel, right? It's a grand success. It's not really in any economic terms, right? It's lost money every year since, and it's got a staggering overhead, right? It's a huge failure. But don't talk about that. Nobody mentioned that. Anyway, also, there's boats that go across the top of it, which were always making money. And now they're losing money too. So this is a nightmare, right? It's a bridge underwater. Felix, what you like? Anyway, so I shouldn't have said that actually, because no one's allowed to mention the water, right? We all know it's been around here for a while, but if you're new and you're the first time you're here, thanks very much for stopping by. I hope you've hit that like button already. Make sure you make your way to the subscribe button straight away now. If you've been here a while and you haven't hit that like button, feel free to leave. Feel free to just go away. I know where I'm not wanted. And so nobody, right? Don't mention the water, right? Don't mention the water. Shh. Right, so it's a. Why would it be a tunnel anyway? Because it would, it's just a road, right? Anyway, it costs loads of money. But there's one here, and it's beautiful, right? Because it's got green bits on it. It's got purple. I mean, we'd rather have less of the purple, but like this other shade of green and the yellow. I managed it. If there was no purple there at all, it'd be beautiful, right? It'd be beautiful. It really would be. And I know everybody's looking forward to that picture, which we'll be seeing soon. We're seeing some of that soon. So in advance of that, though, you're worrying, right? You're worrying, because you can see that you're the light at the end of the tunnel and whatever, It's like, imagine you were locked up in a treasure chest, right? You were locked up inside a treasure chest, but you were given the key and, you could figure out, maybe it'd take you like 1 minute and 38 seconds on a good day to figure out how to unlock the treasure chest from the inside. But you had the key and that's cool and it's all grand, right? But then also like, somebody throws it off the side of the boat. That's not cool. And then it's nighttime. Oh, shit. So, but you've opened it, right? Congratulations. And you get, and you open it and you're like, well, there's light at the end of the tunnel, apparently, right? Apparently there's light at the end of the tunnel, whatever. But that's the thing, right? If it's nighttime, maybe there isn't, right? Maybe if it's nighttime, maybe there isn't, right? In which case, apparently you're supposed to follow the bubbles, right? Follow the bubbles. How do you see what way the bubbles are going, right? How do you see? How do you see which way the bubble? I don't know, right? I don't know. But anyway, what a nightmare that would be. So that's essentially what's happening at the minute, right? It's essentially what's happening. So, let's just hope that you swim the right way. Let's just hope so, because you're already sort of fucked with the 1 minute 38 there getting out. So, and it's not like Enid Blyton, right? People get liquidated in real life. They do. Right, serious liquidations and shit. So this is a whole different type of channel, right? It's a nightmare channel. It's like an escape room sort of channel. And what you want to do is get the hell out of it, right? But you've got the key, so that's great. But then, it's a whole new ball game, right? So this is a whole new system of escape room. You're out, but then that room itself was sinking and shit, right? Anyway. Lower low on price action here, but when you look to the RSI, there's a higher low between these two areas. Well, that was the case on the weekly time frame. It's still the case. Whoo! That this is a horizontal and that you've got, well, clearly an even lower low here on price action from the body closes down to the previous body close. Oh, interesting, right? And here on the RSI, you've got a slightly higher one, right? This is actually going at an angle. I mean, you can even do these sort of things with this line, right? This line here, and you could click on that one and then on that one, and it'll tell you a trend angle somewhere in there, right? Tell me what it is. Don't tell them. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Oh, it's in there in the lovely can't see it blue color. Yeah, good. That's gonna work. Trading Viewers, genius. Yeah, It's not even going to give me a color. And where is my angle information? 1.13. Oh, I love that number. Anyway, so you're also at a 1.13 extension. And that's entirely a coincidence. Though fate's like that, isn't it? Apparently, there might not be any. What brought you here today, right? What was that moment that brought you here today? Was it like the Ghost of Dead Money All-Stars been here since the beginning? Was it like that since my first live stream on 21st of... No, it was in March. Was it March the 12th, 2020? Maybe. But I've done a live stream every single day covering GME without any break in the chain every single day since May 2021. That was it. May 2021. Every single day. Every single day. Have you been here every single day? Have you? Have you? So, anyway, there, Trace Bond, there's a 236. You think the 236 are good? There's that one now. It's like, on the body close there on the weekly, perhaps, right? You come back up, close above that. You never took it out on the close. Fantastic. RSI comes from the body close. So, if price action retraces by the end of the week, then the RSI plot will be put in on that close. As such, it could even be higher than where it is intra-week. Today, that's Wednesday. That's in the middle of a week. So it's one of those days. And price action might recover, which is beautiful, right? That would be so nice. It'd be so beautiful. We'd love that, wouldn't we? And then under the 2-day time frame, this is the bullish divergence we were speaking about. It's at this place, at this part, it's like, get out of town, right? It's like, get out of town. Not even my garden, but then municipal ground, and then outskirts, right? And then beyond even where we provide services, right? Like fire, emergency services, water. And beyond all of those limits, right? Fuck off. That'd be awesome. That's that amount of divergence there. That's what. And then, this is within the body of this candle. You want to see it extend perhaps above, right? In this 2-day time frame, you'd like to see the next close or the subsequent one, next one. Yeah. Come in here above the 236, which would be also above the midpoint of the previous candle, right? That would be then a bullish candlestick for pattern forming. That'd be nice to see, Mr. Trade Spotting. And then on the daily time frame, get 3 of these in a row. Pro 3 white knights. And they'd come and suggest continuation, right? A fantastic, lovely, jubbly Trade Spotter. 4-hour time frame. Now, I don't know, did we do everything on the daily? You just didn't really trace one. You didn't come and show these lows there and how you got like bullish divergence between the two, right? With the lower low, extremely bullish divergence, and then go back again to the previous low, and you're like, hey, yo, that's this low. It's like, starts to play into the overall question of, are we experiencing a divergent trend? Is it that price action is weakening, tiring out along with momentum? And that corner we've been talking about for ages. Like, we've been talking about it for ages. Are we tired of it yet? Fuck. Doesn't sleep like a year ago. Totally doesn't sleep like a year ago at all, man. That's what I was saying earlier today. Doesn't sleep like a year ago or 2 years ago. And the other me was like, yeah, you're talking to yourself too much, Trace Bond, and saying weird words. Weezer, did you finally get on the train? You slow as a turtle. Hey, those turtles. So, I like turtles. So, price action, is it going to fucking recover and get above the center line in RSI? That's all been on the bottom profile. Come on. I'm trying to turn them, but, Ryan, and your manly thighs. Fro dog a bone. Just got my son's PC monitor from GameStop for his 15th birthday today. Wow, the 15th. And he's getting a PC monitor from GameStop. What a lucky, happy day that is. Now to make his favorite dinner, stuffed chicken breast. All right. This sounds freaking brilliant. That's a nice birthday. Happy birthday. I can't go back to not sleeping. That's what I'm going to say next time someone wakes me up. I can't go back to not sleeping. And I'm not going to do the laughing bit. I'm going to do a cry instead so that they feel bad for me. whoever they are waking me up. Lol, lol, lol. Autocorrect. Yeah, exactly. No, back to the charts, Trace Point. The charts. Stop it, chair. I love this chair so much. Oh, it's the best. So good. So, price action. Yes. Right, similar story. So, love you too. So, hey, you're hoping that this comes in and is a low, right? You are. It's enough of an extension at the 1.13. Timmy needs the slaps, not us. 4-hour time frame. Maybe pay some attention to the mehikade and see that there is no divergence there on the lows in the trend. On the RSI here on the 4-hour. Just turn these off so it's slightly clearer. Also, lower lows on the RSI, lower lows price action. There's nothing there, right? Here's your local low, your ultimately lower than it, and you're low in it on the RSI. Can. So there's like the mixed picture, right? It's like pancake mix. It's a pancake mixture here. You're as fat as a pancake. I didn't know what that meant. I never knew what it meant because pancakes are really not fat at all, are they? They're not fat at all. So what does that mean? It's a mystery. Just like mankind. So, this downtrend. Hello, downtrend. No, we've met before, haven't we? So, the RSI pushing up within this part, feeling a break. This has the swing. And then the swing failures within it, right? You really need to see some bullish signs. Really do need to see some bullish signs. Be an institutional sell-off that explained a lot of this. Though, no reasoning for that at the minute. MACD is starting to curl around. Maybe you get something interesting shortly. This has pulled itself out of the bearish control zone. That's positive to see. Need to aim for the center line. Could slip back in here. Price action could again slip slightly lower. At which stage you might hit one of these horizontals here. Well, I mean, the next one's in around 69 bucks. If that extension gets a tap on the door, hopefully it's one of those like ones where you knock the door and run away and then laugh like a good innocent little 9-year-olds, and then go and get drunk in the park and set off fireworks at the local police station. That's sort of just good old wholesome fun. That's what you'd like around these areas, right? You'd like that. And then that would match with the bottom of the channel, and on the 4-hour, it's just as real as it is everywhere frickin' else. You might get a potential turnaround, MACD putting in some divergence, and then get an inverted head and shoulders on the RSI. That'd be good bottom information on the RSI. Looking left on price action, right, there's not desperate amounts of areas for you to test. It's the top side of this zone or the bottom. Right, so it's 69, or we've already done it and we're going up. So that's that. Really. And you know, you can judge your recovery when you're back above 89 and change. And I mean, at least on a 4-hour open, probably actually looking for a buddy close up on the daily time frame. Also known as a 35. And then, I love that. You know, I love that so much. Oh, so here we have it, right? Yeah. You're looking for something to come in positive, and that's one potential thing that could happen. Price action looks like it's slipping back down there. There's, look, Rocky's definitely want to be taking their Rocky's pitchfork. Yes, very interesting. Are you Ryan going the shorts? Yes, interesting. Shorty shorts. Do 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 do. Shorty shorts. Shorty shorts. They're funny, aren't they? The shorty shorts. So there's often this idea, right? Who are these shorts? The abstract shorties. They are the shorties, right? Who are we fighting against? Who are we fighting against? Right? Who are we fighting against? Right? This is the question. I personally think I personally think of them. Sorry, I get distracted. Thanks for all you do every day. Thanks. Cobalt Misk, that's very generous of you. Thanks for being here. And please generous and so consistent with it. Thanks. Appreciate. Thanks. It'll probably come up on the screen and you'll probably do your job, Printer Werner. Because on the screen now, it should be Printer. Do you need to be on camera? Is that what it is? You don't feel good unless you're on the camera or something. What is your problem, Printer? What's the problem, Printer? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem, Printer. Am I the problem? Did I not have... Well, now I have. Did I close that like a tube? I probably did. Thanks so much. I think I've missed it on the printer. Stupid me. Right, did I have a point to make here? Yeah. Oh, the gold in the shorts. Yeah. Come on, your shorts. Come on, your shorts. Right. He wants to put them in his hat and wear them like, right? Macaroni did. That's what he's doing. He's Ryan Cohen, Mr. Macaroni. He's going to shove it to the shorts. But this is it, right? So is he attacking the shorts when he says these things? Is he imagining them to be, or is his conceptualization the same as yours? And is that of an amalgam of short hedge funds, or is it some group of evil, singular, individual short sellers all intent with some drone hive mind to short us all down? Or is it like that we're all completely crazy and you just believe that it's supply and demand and there's no manipulation whatsoever on any primary, secondary or tertiary level? Or if perhaps you're like me and you think there is a new meta outside of just the lit in the dark markets, and that's because there's intense amounts of fraud going on in between what are supposed to be Chinese walls, that are supposed to be separate individual areas of the market, have been bastardized and mutated because they're all controlled by one entity, and that it's absolutely absurd. It's a completely obvious that the antitrust should be in there. The fact that they aren't points to where the problems are in the government, in the jurisdiction, and who's being paid off. And that it's an absurd joke, and that the Department of Justice will need to get on it, and that some people are going to get their asses burned. And I think one of them's Mr. Kenneth Griffin. That's the one that runs Citadel Securities and all the other ones. I think it's absurd. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and I know he obviously does, because he said about all the various practices that they get into. You know, he's publicly stated that he knows how and why they're used to exploit the market, yet now he is the number one participator in those behaviors. So you know he's the guy that is doing it all. And we also know about all the other short hedge funds that fall in behind him. So you'll think, like, perhaps as I do, that it's not just that they're fucking with supply and demand. And that all the more important to be doing the TA, because you're trading risk here. And so that might be the way you look at it. But who is it that we're fighting against, right? Personally, I want to see big short hedge funds. I want to see them destroyed. I want to see them absolutely destroyed so they can never come back, and it sends a message that it'll never be allowed to happen again. I want people to see that there are other ways of behaving, and I think like a good version of it is the investment vehicle Ryan Cohen's using, as opposed to the way Kenneth Griffin distributes his like tentacles throughout the markets with Robinhood and whatnot. So if Kenneth Griffin buys Chelsea Football Club, that is like so up his street. It's so up his street. It's insane. It can't be true. It's a joke. It's irony, and it's a good one. And it's the best one that I've heard in the last couple of years I didn't come up with. But so it's hilarious. So he's goaded them. He's like, short me some more, is essentially what he's saying to anyone who's short or a short thesis and has got any balls. He's saying, come at me, bro. Though he's doing it in a kind of refreshing way by targeting that which we believe collectively to be our enemy. You know, it's not hard to say that that's obviously we share that idea, right? So It's not like we're fighting the algorithm, right? We're fighting humans, and we have to use the algorithms to our benefit. That's the truth. Yeah. We have to be the robots. Half man, half a machine. So we'll do the February 2021. February 2021. Well, I mean, like I could tell that's where I was in when I was looking at price action between the January, December, the February. Where's the... Oh, here. You mean this one? In around these levels? This area? This is a flash you're talking about? I'm not seeing it the same way you're seeing it. I'm not seeing it the same way you're seeing it. I mean, yeah, sure, it's the flash, the bar goes across the background. But I'm not seeing our RO flash on the 4-hour time frame on NYCE. I'm not seeing that at that time or any other time. Not seeing the flash there. So that's so I actually started paying for it yesterday, which is when I noticed it. I don't see it there. You got it on log. You got it on nicey. And then what? I mean, have you adjusted it in some fashion that's left a flash there? So the price action wasn't at that area at that stage, so how can it put in a flash at that stage? You see what I'm saying? So I don't follow. I do see, though, we were talking about this here, Jan, thing here. Where did we get to? 15 seconds, and we were talking about, what was it here? This divergence, price action going to come back. It went back a little bit. There's your 8-period moving average. Down here you had 85 at the top side, target 88.27, aiming there because that's the 236, right? Is that the 236 from the bigger picture on the downtrend? Yes. So 88 at the top side, and then test that 200-period moving average. Not that that's what you're coming down to do, test something on the 15-second time frame. No, but this would be the breakout area. Price action went from, you maybe look to that area at support. You can say that you tested it here already. There's one area of bearish divergence, and if you're saying this is the high, looking between these two areas, then you'd expect to come at least down to this low here. Maybe you're thinking about this bottom side of the gap there being defended. Not that I pay any attention to a gap on anything less than an early time frame, really. You know, why would it be somewhere else? Do you understand the nature of gaps, or are you just poking around in the dark like a fanny? Like most people are, right? Most people are just doing that. It's fine. If you're doing that, that's fine. If you've been a fanny, just put your hand up and say, that was it. I was a fanny. It was me. I was a fanny, everybody. I was a fanny. Just do it. And then it's okay. Oh, there he is, Mr. Vic Mintz. I've got a banana freeze warranty, extended warranty for your trace point. There's actually a 5-day flash at 462 from 2020 August 2020, but I don't know if we care about those. I don't know. Well, we don't care about those things with any immediacy, right? We don't care about those things in any immediacy. No. What we care about is like actionable TA in advance that'll help our trades. This is what we're talking about. Or, you know, at least help the entry on our trades. What's that dripping noise and whatnot? Well, I went and I looked around at things, so if anything, if it's like somehow like Toy Story, well, they'll know. Whatever it is, will know that I'm not happy with it. One day I will mature past 12, like Cinderella. When we rebuild the price, I build back better price. When banana go, yeah. Well, wait now. Yeah. Oh, I could never resist. It's like that. Hey, I think to myself, what a beautiful world. And it doesn't delay the gratification need. I have to just go, yeah, straight away with the banana. But what a beautiful world. Your price action here was fantastic. This is a series of higher lows. Beautiful. This is putting in higher highs. Wow, that's amazing. RSI says, maybe it is rolling over here and you come back. It did. It came back down. Slipped below the 50 simple. Managed to put in third touch of this line here. Interesting. Don't particularly care about the angle of it, but you know, there it is with one. 24 degrees. So, right, this reminds me, right, This particular is great. It's doing well. It just needs to keep going, right? Maybe it comes back down, tests those levels within this trend period of flux at this particular point, and that's okay. But then maybe it goes on a little bit higher, right? We'll see it come in here, right? Test this high, see the strength of it at the time on the other side. We drew this on, and it came around. Did this happen earlier or what? Hi, yeah, so we're back again. Just there for a quick commercial break. I have extended trading hours on. I am so lucky. Thanks for telling me. Figured it out, mate. Thanks very much, Minner. Thanks for figuring it out. Figured it out, mate. Thanks. Thanks, Minner. Thanks, Eeks. Well, there's a good tip there. And you can turn them on and off down in the button thing. Regular, extended. Down here. Can you even see that? Right, just underneath the charts to the right of the time zone information. You'll see it there underneath on the bottom right. So, a trading view. So, price action, it's been, despite like all the other things it's done in the ups and lows and whatnot, it's just been ranging. And within that, you've had bearish divergence at the top of up moves. You've had bullish divergence and hidden bullish divergence at the bottom. Throughout moves, you've had inverted head and shoulders on price action, which is taken like this low, and you came back up to test these highs again. They were bearishly divergent on us RSI, back down, test this support level pretty much straight away. At that point, you'd slip below the center line in RSI. Price action was negative. You went through the support level and came back down to the next one. This is all a 1 minute time frame, but you're still getting like relevant. And then you can see here, price action recovered. Some bullishness between these lows. Higher low in RSI, lower low in price action. Back up again, test the previous level of support. And right, it's easy. It sounds simple when I talk about it, right? Trace button makes it all sound simple. And at this point, you're looking at it again. You're like, well, there it's fucking bearishly divergent, isn't it? If it right? So, and it's just walk in the park, right? Walk in the park. Walk in the park. That's nice. Nice idea, right? So, price action here. Bearishly divergent at the minute, holding the top of the bullish control zone, right? Until such times as it falls below that, you ain't got no confirmations, in which case, not so terrible. There's that guy. Okay, so did my TA got a measured move and took a trade, took the measured move to the wrong direction, but it moved and it was spot on. Nice. This is the way. I had Amazon going to 2,630 thoughts, trace point. Amazon. Let's look at the Amazon. Doo-doo. Let's look at the Amazon. Bam, bam. Amazon. 1 minute. Fantastic. Daily time frame. Question marks here around 2843. Performed very well at that area. Got there, performed well. When did we do this? This was a low. We spoke about price action here. Don't know if this was before or after. It was a bad murder. It's come back and solved that murder. Defended. This was like the nice part of that gap here around 2820. Defended well when it was in here. The bad murder was solved. And then that was what? Day before. Yeah, that was today, day before yesterday. Day before yesterday. Cool. Price action finishing was a positive close there. Come back to the day's previous close. You got your entry spot on from this candlestick formation if you were trading it on that alone, and then it was up what, $50 since then. Not crazy amounts. Let's look at this on a high time frame. There's 200 period moving average on the weekly. Not tested it yet. Big question mark. Do you get there? It's a 1618 extension of this from the low here to the high within this retracement, right? It was a ultimately failed, but it was like a bullish retracement towards the top side. Covered 236, went on to hit the... No, actually, this is a different Fibonacci. It's bearish. There's so many Fibonacci's to delete all my drawings and start again. Boom, boom, boom. Take it from this high because it's really convenient. And that was the previous area. We're not in for that. 236 here, the important area. Price action put in doji candle, stuck below it. This area of the trend came back round, spinning there, spin. Ooh, lovely jubbly, right? Shooting star potentially. Pick up a deal. Spin. And anyway, so candlestick formation. Interesting here on the weekly time frame. You had this potential suggestion, especially when price action went back beyond above this wick high of the previous move here at 29994. I mean, that happened during today's price action, did it? I think if so, it did, but it's based on what we were just looking at. But still, that was the area, and you got an entry on the daily looking at the retracement that we were at before. And today, you can see that was with the gap fill there, also important, that was filled. Lower on RSI, looking left, you can see that price action was lower or equally low. So this area is horizontal, but price action was very different from the RSI. You can see very strong bullish divergence within that part of those two moves, which you'd be comparing. You know, these are the lows, despite the fact that you might want to compare this low to this low. There was no high in between, right? So this wasn't a low. So like you might have been thinking like, oh, can between these two lows, and RSI is lower, so no problemo, right? Maybe it's coming down, but actually that wasn't a local low. Well, it might have been within this move, but it wasn't distinct from the areas you'd have been measuring this trend from on this time frame, where you have a low here and a high here, right? It was within the two. You could say that's a higher low, but then that's a lower high, and as such, neither were either, because this then came on to be the lower low. So it was like low, high, and then this is the low, and it disqualifies this one from your calculations. And then when you'd be looking between two, you'd be looking between this one and this one. And you'd say, well, here you had a much lower on the RSI, and here you had a much higher on the RSI. So there's like a bullish divergence at that part, which suggests that maybe price action pushes to the top side. And trades bottom thinks then you're aiming for the 236, you break it goes to the 618. You're looking at the 200 period moving average, assuming that there isn't a hugely negative posture in between it and the 50 simple. So you would take on the Fibonacci. There's the high, right, from the two moves that we were talking about, the low and the high before. Price action came back. Measuring that, you might be thinking, well, it broke through this 886. At that point, you are looking to see, is this trend going to completely break and drop back down like, boom, extensions, 1618, it's terrible news for it? Or is there something positive happening? There was a news-based catalyst for positive reaction as well. And then, you know, counter to what might be the prevailing psychology about that, it went the other direction on the charts. It was very common, trading the risk rather than the asset, especially not trading the news. So, and I know you ain't, buddy. So here we are talking about not trading news, trading charts. That's the retracement from the top. You're wondering if the trend's broken or not. And then here you're looking at this and you're measuring the strength of that move. It went beyond the 236 here on the previous open, right? You knew there was a gap, that you knew there was an area to come in here at this point and think, well, there's so many reasons to enter, that being the high of the previous candle, that being like the confirmation from the candlestick formation at this area. If you were already coming from the weekly, then you were looking at it saying about what we were saying when we were looking at it in the weekly. There was this spinning top, and that you would maybe enter this thing when it came back and tested that area of this candle, which is where you got your body close. You also got your wick down to the 236 there. So there's two potential entries there. And when you're on the 2-day and you see the gap fill and the 236 retested, and here you are on the daily, you see this positive candle on the day after. At that point, maybe you're saying, well, this is a 236 retest. This candle was negative. I'll wait till to open tomorrow. You see that it opened above. You might have then put your entry at the candle close from the day before. Or perhaps you would be thinking managing the risk there around with the wick, and that might have been a reason to enter. Or you maybe were still waiting for a firm test of 236 at 281. Or maybe you were thinking, like, I want to wait and see how this whole move evolves throughout the period of the week and see if the trend breaks around the 786 to 886 and measure these strengths of weaknesses and whatnot around those areas. In which case you might be saying, well, where is ultimate support and resistance within this move? If you're patient and you're not like going to go and chase price action, that means, you know, you have to forego other opportunity costs. So I'm not saying it's no mean feat, but patience is interesting. Of this overall Fibonacci that we drew down before, you can see the horizontal, the 618, this area at 33333, and the 1.13 extension of this Fibonacci. That'd be a very difficult area to break. It's also where the 200 period moving averages on the daily. That's like really, really big area, difficult to break. So this would be like resistance and what you would expect to find a lot of congestion if you were trying to advance beyond it at all of these time frames that we've come down from, and probably all the ones we go through. And then below you can see, well, there was these two firm lows with bullish divergence, so it's unlikely you'd go below that at this stage. You might even be looking for a higher low should price action come down. Or maybe you're thinking, I want 3 touches divergence, so you want to see the price action back down again anyway, and it putting in a higher low again on the RSI, and that be confirming your signal, in which case this is again the reason to enter, and also the horizontal level. So you're looking at that between these two areas, and essentially if that's your way of trading, very much a no trade zone here at the minute. Does it come back down to here, 269 possibly? Does it come further, 266? That would be an extension beyond the 1.13, but not much, right? You know, that would be what you'd be looking to if you were tricking that third touch of divergence, the lower one there. Does it get it or not? Right, you know, it might even be post mortem free when it breaks, right? It might even at that point slow rigor mortis fall down a hill that we've talked about before here. Ooh, can't break their arms to get them into the coffins and whatnot. Terrible imagery. Anyway, here we are. Down here to 2.6, you're saying a 2.6, and the 1.618 is a 2.3, so that'd be a scary retracement should price action collapse at this stage. It might be that happens. You see it's reached here on the daily time frame at the 50 simple. It's below the 200. There's been a death cross previously. It took price action back down to the low side of this range. May well be that you've reached a peak here. You see the RSI though is pushed above a center line. That's bullish. You've got what is potentially an inverted head and shoulders. It's very sloppy. Measured move might take you on the RSI back up here towards top side of the bullish, bottom side of the bullish control zone, and into that positive territory there. Price action's been in negative one since November, similar to GME. This is what happened to a lot of tech-focused companies. And so this leg of price action isn't different from that GME chart that we spent so many days and nights staring at. And then looking at that 50 simple in its posture, negative slope, negative splay, that's negative, right? Trend negative. It's like it might feel positive at the minute. It might look good. It might sound a little something. The RSI is even pushing back above the center line. That looks a little good. But also, doomslayers like to buy support, not resistance. They also don't like buying in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, that's not interesting to us. Though it is a good test of our patience to see if we can resist this wailing, beautiful calls of the sirens. Come on and lose your money and then smash your head against this rock afterwards and regret. So that's what the song, it's a brilliant song, it's a rap song actually. So you want to break this 618 and you want to go on, have another, do you want a cup of tea? No, they don't, right? Tough luck. I know. But yeah. Does it come back here? I mean, it's a contrarian opinion, really, because the price action has recovered. It's put in a positive formation in RSI, and it has put in a bottom information here with bullish divergence, and price action should keep going. You'd look for a 618, you've got it. You'd then perhaps aim for the 200 period moving average, and that's at 33333 and a little bit extra. And that's kind of what actually I'm feeling like. But then within that, right, there's other real chocolate on your biscuit, and you're not, within it, let's see what's happening. It's quite a long extension here, really not broken any horizontals, not really truly broken through the top side of the golden pocket, and you are in a negative trend overall, so worth bearing that in mind. You definitely can't be going long on this from here. If you would dial that for your aiming to, but where's the risk management? Like, if it turns around, the first candle could easily come straight back to 2940, and then the next one could open below it and go straight to 2790. Like, less. It could just be one. It could just fucking open. And like, so where are your risk management at? It's like a massive area of danger, and where's your profit taking target? It's just up there, right? So, like, that's not fancy. And the whole thing would be an anxiety-ridden train ride to doom. And so, in here, we're looking at 2.6 something, perhaps. An extension there would be Desperado. Right. So looking left, here's your flash. That's maybe interesting. 2513 hasn't yet been filled. Not yet. Old pal in the 4 hour time frame, maybe that would be an extension if you break this level, and you'd be looking for extreme amounts of bullish divergence right there. Oh, you would, sir. I think I would. This is a horizontal level of support and resistance. This is another one. It's also that flash. I can't rule that out. I mean, this is where I'd like to buy it at, despite what it might look like it's doing in the meantime. I trust this indicator too much. You say, well, I don't know, like, lots of other opportunities. So it does pay attention. That reminds me of the Redux Grunge makes Mark Jacobs. So doesn't it look, and then that also makes me want to play some music. Why I can't do, because get in trouble. Get in trouble. Yeah, and so everything's fabulous here. Amazon, no. 236, 2,800, that's where I'd be first looking. It got a retest and it had a bullish move after it. I mean, it's difficult to rule out that this just keeps going there. It's just that was your entry. And there was a number of times, like a number of things about it suggested it was to me that then take me out of the, like, they were so robust that anything that's like not as strong as it makes me think, well, the move might be weakening and I'm not jumping into something after it's like already on way. There's other things. That's what I think. So if I was looking at this, I'd be waiting for some sort of a retrace. It would either be here, which would be risky as heck. I would just have to manage it with a super tight stop loss and hope that I was God in some sort of a positive uptrend. Which, you could be if you were to draw it in and say, where's the 236? Where will it be coming back from? You'd use a Fibonacci like this. Draw it up to there. Like, holy shit, there is your 236. Maybe I am in my little universe. Maybe I am God. Holy shit. No. So I haven't, right? And price action come there and smash me in the face and be like, you're an idiot, trade spot, and it's going there. Or else, why would you buy it in the middle of a trend, you idiot trade spot? And, if you've been saying stupid things, like you think you're God or something, like it's the middle of a trend, like that's like weakening. Nah. And that's the target only there, and the risk is back there again. Still not possible. So down at the early time frame, Yeah, great, right. This is got a flash there. It's going to fill that flash. Wow. Well, the flash on the hourly on Amazon, it's come right up to it. You're not pushing significantly above any significant areas there. You're putting in a wedge. Looks like it's going to start breaking down again. 236, 2963 might be aiming for. I mean, right now, you'd fucking right. Pardon language. Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon trade spotting. Your target on this thing would have to be somewhere around 236. So, like, I mean, if similar amount of risk reward and like and closer to trade, like, because it's right now where price action is. So, like, and in terms of getting a signal, you've got potential bearish divergence, at least class B at this stage of the trend here. You're above the 200 period moving average when you're putting that in. You probably come back down there, and there's a 236, which is where you previously tested support. You probably get that. Where do you manage it with the stop loss? I mean, if it's in around there, you'll get 5 to 1, 6 to 1. Probably put it in something like that, right? 3. You could definitely get something if you got the right signal, right? Take it right down. This is what I've been trying to do all year to get better at. Not that this is the trade I do it on, but this is what I've been doing. Try to not exploit the risk reward potential with some crazy trade, but just reduce my risk as much as possible. And at this stage, maybe you are saying, how do you do that, right? How do you get the best possible value for your trade here? It's not necessarily in like finding a better place where it'll go to by more than like another $10 or $50 or whatever. It doesn't increase your overall success rate throughout time, which is what matters when you try to pay bills rather than just like prove stuff on one chart at one time or whatever. And so you might be saying, well, the ideal trade to be taken here would be see if price action comes back up and does completely fill this flash, which would then like be a reason for that, right? Secret magic sauce from Rocky there. And then at that point you say, well, when it retraces back down to within this golden pocket, I'll watch it and I'll take like something here, like a short when it drops out through the 618, and at exactly the same time, I'll keep my stop just back within that golden pocket. Then you get your entry somewhere around there, and then you take your profit. And around here, and you're looking at something like, what's that? That's a 9 to 1, right? You don't even need that. That allows you to manage your risk here. That's 2 to 1 at that stage, allows you to manage your risk there. If you're getting the right signal on the RSI giving you on the 30-minute time frame, some sort of divergence, which you're seeing like right now, and then it could put in a swing failure, which is about to happen potentially right now, and you'd probably go beyond the 236 at that point, in which case you're getting rewarded loads and loads more. But really, you're just trying to, what I'm trying to do is to improve this part of the trade, right? Because it's all well and good like use stop losses and like, yeah, but attrition will destroy your account if you've got like a crazy attitude to things. So maybe this is one of the ways to do things like that. This may be not the perfect example to do it on, but it's like the same methodology. You'd try and reduce this area of risk, and it might mean not entering at the top of moves, you know, not trying to catch the bottom of them, but like defining areas where you know you'll be right. You know at this stage I'll be right, or if I'm not, I'm wrong, and I'll likely find out immediately. Like, so if I'm wrong, I find out not just immediately in terms of like straight away. So my opportunity cost for like having to wait while other shit does stuff, I also think, oh, I'd have rather traded that. That's reduced as much as possible. And also the price like of my risk is really, really low. So then like, right. So you can imagine how that helpful this will be over time, especially if you're going to trade for a long time, right? Which you might do, even if you don't want to, you might end up doing. So, like, when I say that, means like you might want to get super mega rich and take crazy ass trades, but like you never know how long you're going to still be here. So that's the way to look at it. So try to reduce your risk in that, and it might not mean you go right into these. And it looks great on a YouTube video, and it's why I'm better at TA than most people demonstratively, because I can, do call those things. But that's not why. What that makes it like you rich, right? It isn't. Even make it on YouTube, right? It isn't even what it's fucked up. I would have been sure it would have, but no. So right, it's about anyway. This is what you do to make your life easier, and but it's not glitzy and glamour. You can't be like, oh look, I called that at this and got it 1 cent from whatever. But you can say like, hey, I did 8 trades this week, and straight away knew when I was right and when I was wrong, and the ones that were wrong cost me nothing, hardly anything, and the ones that were right made that back and way more. And and you also can still say all of that and say I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what any of the tickers were, and I had no idea what I only just opened it and I had understanding of TA, and that allowed me to manage risk that way. So people say TA doesn't work. It's like, what are you trying to do with it? Like, get a girlfriend. Like, is that what you try to get a girlfriend with your TA? Is that because you're doing that wrong, right? That's wrong. Are you trying to cook some eggs? Because that's not what it's for either, right? That's not how you fry eggs, right? And you're a huge tube and fanny, and what you do, and honestly, you're not sick of hearing your own voice by now, because everybody else sick of hearing you, and that's why you can't fry eggs and you won't get a girlfriend, and people probably don't spend time around you. Full stop, mate. So shut up talking about TA and any other thing you don't understand. In fact, you ignoramus. And stop going out here telling everyone that you're an idiot, right? Because no one wants to hear it. We already know. It depresses us, in fact. Anyway, so that's that. The 2,600 question, if this is in a distribution formation at the minute, which it could possibly be, price action does come back down. If you were to draw a line under here on the 30-minute time frame, see this is a trend line. If you break that, measure it with its own Fibonacci. This one at the minute is what covers all of it, but keep that going, keep track of it, and see, within that trend, where does it break that trend line? And then maybe you're even looking at it also and you're saying, well, here was the first one. It came back, broke through the 236, golden pocket, went on again. Subsequently, that one went up to here. Price action came back, broke the 236, went down to the golden pocket, went up again. Price action, pardon my line movements. And then, come back, 236. You were doing this for me and it was working. It looked good. Is this you? It is, sweet. And then here, you've gone through the 236, but not really, right? You didn't get a proper break of it, and price action has gone on again. So that's a very bullish move at this area. It's also a retest of this previous area of resistance, which until then was support and was resistance, and then was support here and was resistance. It's a significant area in price action. It's 2,960, and it's the 236 here, and it's the 0.5 Fibonacci of this dominant fib here. So anyway, loads of reasons why it came back and tested that area and would have found support and went on again. Didn't even break it, never mind get down to the 618, which would have been 2820. Cuckoo, right? They could turn their head the whole way round. And so 2820, right? Who are you going to call? Owl Busters. There's your 282, and and so price action, does it break down? Well, it's had one test of that area. Coming up now, it tests these other important areas, not breaking above the golden pocket yet. And is it going to do it? No, it looks like it's going to put in a swing failure, and it looks like it's already divergent, and I'd be taking a short when it falls back within these areas, and to find a really tight area to take a stop loss and then manage my trade by taking profit straight away. And then none of my money's left on the table at this point, literally none of it. I can flip my leverage right up to do that by putting it to 100x, because I'm already in profit, will absolutely definitely not lose money, move my stop loss up, take my money off the fucking table by doing that, by increasing my leverage and moving my stop loss into profit, so I'll never lose. And then bearing in mind your fees are going to go up because your leverage gone up, so you have to work that out and build it into your take profit zone and then put that in there so you don't lose it. And that's how I do it. So I've got loads of capital efficiency because I like capital formulation, right? I think it's good. I don't think that liquidity providers do it very well. I think you can do it on your own much better, especially when you teach you. And then sneaky. They underestimated the sneakiness for sure. And then you could take it to the 236, and then you're looking at whatever the fuck that is, right? Your risk reward there is 3,000 to 1 or something stupid. And then you break the 236, get that 618 trade, and that's stupid, right? There are 8,000 to 1 trades, and people think 5 to 1 is good, and it is. It's fantastic, right? And there's 8,000 to 1. But it's not about that. It's because you managed to get the 3 to 1, the 1.5 to 1, and it was managing it with your risk there. So that's how you trade. Ding dong. Anyway, I'd be looking at a short on that thing at the moment, but it would be managed so I wouldn't lose much money. And then, do I want to go long on it? If I did, I'd be measuring it in there. It's so far away that you'd have plenty of time to do the TA on it at the time and measure and see the momentum on the downside is weakening and whatnot, rather than catching knife from this point. Mind you, if I was going on holiday and didn't have access to the computer for a couple of months, and I thought that's good for a long-term trade, whatever happens with Amazon, I'm not going to jump into it right now, but I'll put an order in somewhere. Maybe it would be in around those levels or an extension. Whoa, boom. So that's brilliant lessons there, hopefully based on a chart and just one indicator and the one off chart indicator. And some fibs and horizontals and whatnot, and some lessons. So what else are we going to look at? Bitcoin continuing 41.9. These horizontals, interesting. It comes back, these crazy retraces back into these levels. It's good to see that. I can see there's some bearish divergence on the go at the minute too. Maybe it does make that. In which case you'd have a very quick example of, you know, those things we talked about. 50 simple period moving average, 40,100, 40,200 is 41,069 in a minute. Fucking mental. Loving it. Right. So yeah, great, fantastic news on that front. And did we do AMC? Did we get to AMC? 1756. Trace points calling 1756 and AMC's AMC. So you had bullish divergence between these two lows. Nice to see that, to see it nice. Since then, price action has tried to turn this into bottom information. You've come back from below your previous area of support and smashed right through and then tested it and confirmed it to be support again. And then the 50 simple at the same time caught you and you're back above the 200. Though there is a negative splay between those two, they both have positive, well, 50 simple is a positive slope and price action above the 200. So more merrier, more of that the merrier. That's the 15-minute. We'll work our way up through the time frames. What else can we see between here? If price action does drip back significantly below the 236, you'd say that there was between this high on price action. This is important now to pay this attention to this, folks. Here, there's this high on price action as it fell down. And at that point, we had this high on the RSI. And this is, of course, a downtrend, right? And in that downtrend, price action has put in what might be a low and has then started to move back up again. But it's still very much lower than all of these highs, including, and importantly, this one. And when we look at that on the RSI, we can see that we've now managed to make it above it. But as I said, this is a downtrend. And so if this fails, right, even if it makes it back up to in around this region but doesn't break this area, and should it do it, then it's going back up to the golden pocket, and this is where it really fucking needs to get now, right? It really needs to get up here. This is called the goals, right? This is the goals, like that. There they are. They're the goals. And there's this football pitch thing, right? This is called a football pitch. That's what it is there, right? Football pitch. And in that football pitch, there's this thing here. Where is it? Well, it's a ball. Where is it though? I know it's a ball. I just can't remember where it is. Where are you, ball? There you are. That was easy. So there's this ball. It's here. At the minute, it's somewhere around there. This would be it, right? It's a penalty kick, right? It's a penalty kick. It's here. It's a penalty kick. This is it. This is a penalty spot. That's the 5-yard box. This is a penalty box, right? There's a guy here. He's going to take he's over here at the minute. And this is the high, and this is the RSI, and this is a higher high in the RSI, and this is your big moment, right, for price action to then make it back above here, right? Take this penalty kick and put it into the top fucking corner. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it, or is it going to be interrupted? Because there's also, of course, this dude here, right? This dude stood in the middle of the nets. He's called the goalkeeper, and he's on the blue team. We'll say he's on the blue team. And there he is, right? Clear as day. And he's actually huge. This is the thing, right? It's a 5-a-side football pitch. So he looks huge. And so it's quite difficult then, you might think, to score that. Well, not if you're a man of my talent, right? It's a near certain goal. But this is not a man of my talents, right? This is somebody who likes to... This is somebody else, right? And he's, he's not, right? He's just not. So he's over here and he's not. And price action not doing very well, and RSI pushing up higher. Now, you might say, right, as well as the fact that it looks like it's about to put in a swing failure, you would say that that's hidden bearish divergence and speaks to continuation within the trend. So he needs to score this penalty. Like, now it's not an opportunity as it might have seemed, right? Like, well, great, we're 3 or 4 minutes in and we've already got a penalty and we can score this, and fantastic. let's score you on penalty, right? And we'll actually make him red because he's on the red team. He's the goalkeeper, isn't he? So of course he'd be red. And then you've got your boy taking the penalty. He looks like this. He's on the green team, and he's trying to score this penalty. This is the football that he's using. Looks like it's not a football, but it actually is. It looks like a basketball, but that's not true. It's a football. And he's trying to put it into this net, which is yellow, but that's actually white too. But the sun's going down. It's casting this yellow shade, which is awful nice, right? But it's also meaning like the sun's going down. And it's not a penalty kick as an extra opportunity that you'll get one up on them for the rest of the match. No, this is the deciding thing at the end of the game, right? It's a penalty. You fucking score it because X'd up. If you miss it, it's a sudden death. The next guy, right, opposite. And holy shit, right? If it also puts it in a swing failure, that means he goes to hit this and doesn't even hit it, right? He completely fluffs it, doesn't even kick the ball properly, like David Beckham penalty, and in fact falls over and kicks the ground. And Price Action fails to make it back above its high here that it just did. And he's like, boom, kicks the ground here, bang, right? That's this area here where he kicks the ground like an idiot, instead of kicking the football, which is here, look, right? And it's because his laser eyes, right? If you weren't stupid and blinded by stupid laser eyes, right? Keep your eye on the ball, not green, right? Keep him on the ball, kick it in the net. But nope, distracted, right? And that's what happens if he kicks the ground there. You can blame the green laser eyes. It's usually their fault anyway. And then if he does manage to actually make some sort of kinetic force with this opportunity presenting itself, then he needs to make sure Price Action gets above 1756. And if it does, where I think it would go to, yes, very much, sir. Yes, very much, sir. It would be up around these 1667, 1672, 1677, these sort of levels where you'd be testing this downward sloping supply line that we can see is already on the charts here. Look, whoa, it's so very obvious. It's in the back of the fucking net, right? It's in the back of the fucking net. And if you want to achieve your goals, right, you're going to need to have a football and goals, right, to do it, right? It's not abstract. You're going to need to get it. So, Amazon that. Mr. Adamaran. We just looked at the Amazon chart in case you're interested in that. So yeah, there's that, right? You get in the net by not kicking the fucking ground here, right? You instead kick the football here. This is where it is, and it goes into the net here. Congratulations, you get past this guy, sudden death. You have to do it. If you don't, he's going to score against you, which means Price Action will come back down. And when I say come back down, it means it's going to fail at this low. It's going to either catch this trend if you're fucking lucky. At this stage, maybe it's like, oh, well, you've got that previous low and let's measure it, and it's even more extreme. The linear collapse might continue like that, or it might be more disorderly and this line can go away, which was only used to measure the bullish divergence between these two lows anyway and wasn't relevant for anything over here, and Price Action comes steaming back down and slaps on at 1088 and they kick it, right? They kick it into your net and they win the game and you're out of the tournament and it's all back to the qualifying rounds again. And that's the AMCTA, and darn it, the soccer balls, right? Did you ever play soccer balls? Now you are. You walk out, you go AMC. I don't give a fucking shit if you don't like soccer. You're playing soccer, right? That's it. This is PE, not do what you want day, right? It's physical education. You're playing soccer under that, and you're like, I don't want to buy AMC. It's like, I know the feeling. You don't have to. You don't have to. But you already got some cool. If you're waiting, cool. There's 236 in there at 1436. You had that recently enough. There's loads of reasons why people following this channel are not in trouble with their AMCs. Sad faces up there, right? This is the crowd. This is just like pure anxiety. It's like wrecked anxiety. It's right. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, folks. So, any questions? Just line up the questions there. Let me hear the questions. If you've got any, I'm happy to hear the questions. If you've got any questions, just let me know what those are, those questions. I'm here in the chat box with you all, so I can answer any of them. And you can tell me what they are and all, and that'll be fantastic. Right, I predict... I enjoy the salted beef and taters. That's nice. That's really nice. That's so nice. That's so nice. What else? What are the questions? Where did you get banana? Yeah, it got shipped all the way from Japan. So you gotta tell me, you know, what's the questions? 200 questions. What? 200 questions? How can... Oh, seriously. Can I plan the first ever graduation party? Bulldog Buchanan. Oh, yes, that'd be fun. A graduation party. This is a great idea. Yes, Bulldog, you certainly can. Have you heard about Zim? I am dubious, RE, the new company, and the $17 dividend if you own shares by the 22nd of the 3rd. Zim? Zim. I ain't really one for chasing dividends, that's for sure, but we could look at the chart. If Peter Pickett a picket of pickled peppers, how many would that be? If Peter Pickett a pack of pickled peppers, I don't know. If Peter Pickett, you mean if Peter picked? Ah, you see, these things really rely on you typing them correctly, Justin. Bulldog Buchanan, the party is on. Look at that. There's people talking about parties and stuff. Oh my god, you guys are the best. Hey guys, this is the best. This is the best. What's the questions? Have we got questions? I got some good lessons there. I'm sure I did it on different things. This is a great video. You know, it's going to help at least 40 or 50 people for sure. No way it ain't. No way it ain't. You try what you try to see. So, you know, I think we did. I think we did, right? I think we did. To get to the supermarket now? No. So I mean, the hour you're on your date, 4 hour, you've got your flash down here. You're currently at 1377. This is printing money for people too. RSR and 1 doing very good, very, very good recently. Pushing back into the bullish control zone. Hard to argue with that. You've got your obvious areas of retests here. But then, would you draw it at the peak here? I mean, there's another lesson for someone. Like, would you draw it at the peak there and say that's like resistance and now you're looking for it to be support and it was like a breakdown within this? Or would you say, it didn't really have tests on both sides of the trend? And in fact, like, you'd be looking for something that was tested on the top and from the bottom in order to say that that was a significant area, especially if you were looking for, and if you had the VPVR, it might make things on that front, it might make things a lot easier even. Right, so in it around 127 there, not 127, and then beyond it a little bit, perhaps, right? Is this flash being filled yet? Is there interest in there? Certainly reason to pay attention here. This would be a higher low if it managed it. It would speak to overall not great news though. This takes precedence now, being on the same turnip farm. They're down on the 1 hour, interesting, right? Another reason to be interested in that same area. So, big percentage moves. There's 15% on the day on that one. That's interesting. That's just cryptocurrency. Also, Newegg, it's doing all right considering how struggling it was and that bullish divergence that came in there. Shit, no, I'm not muted. Excellent. So, everything's fantastic. Everybody's delighted. What could possibly be any different, right? Tomorrow, we're doing... We're chopping off Jen's head. Hopefully, Wolfric will be here. We'll be doing an all-day stream, basically. I know I've scheduled it to be for later, but actually it'll start way sooner. We're going to do all-day stream to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We're going to talk about price actions. It's going to be loads of lessons. We're going to go through GME in extreme detail. We're going to talk about the bearish thesis for GME and that one that people would perceive from a consumer's perspective, what it looks like the company from the staff's perspective, and what it looks like again from an investor's perspective, right? So consumer, staff, investor, and then we'll have our own take on how we feel GME is going. But it's good to hear from all these different people and their perspectives. So I've got information about that. Go through what I think is like the valid and useful side of that argument. Drew Sol, Traceborn, please top off my head. Well, it's Wolfric. You have to make your appeals to Wolfric and me. Take my head again as well. It has been hurting from using it lately. Bulldog, you see, this is it. Yourself and others masquerade without, ghostly hallowed names. So people don't know you get to give you the due respect. And then you need your head chopped off again, right? And you see, right, the municipal head chopping thing, right? Wolfric's is, anyway, so we'll see. It may happen, right? We don't like little straggly bits. So we'll see. And what else? Was there other things? There probably was. What were they? Tomorrow. All day tomorrow. It's going to be good. Wolfric's tough negotiator, you're telling me. Holy shit. If you bring him gifts, it makes it easier. Like straight off the bat, like just give him gifts and that, and don't ask for anything. And then maybe you get like later on, like it's like that kind of grease the wheels, right? Although it's more of a knife sharpening wheel than any. Anyway, so right, it doesn't get you anywhere. So, but that might. But anyway, far be it from me. So it's all up to you. Comparing gifts makes a difference. So 557 topside neg below 200 period moving average. Now that you've captured the 50, you've got to break through this horizontal level, and then you've got another one to aim for. It's not all that crazy. It's also miles away from where it could be. So, I wouldn't find that to be all that crazy. What else has been happening recently? Wow. That's exciting. This one's interesting, right? I've been following this this isn't relevant to trade spotting land. Britannia has been dead interesting, right? It's been dead interesting for like forever, right? It's only been around for as long as. Anyway, this flash here is super interesting. It's 100% away. It's dead interesting. Chewy. Oh, another 10%, huh? Another 10% on top of like the 5 yesterday. This is definitely trying to go with the 200. Don't know if it's going to make it in this one effort, but there's horizontal looking like been tested both levels side there at 43.70. Just not that far away from you at the minute. Another 10% basically. I can't keep going. Sen's got another 10%. That's great that it's coming off this line with some significance. Until then, fuck you, Sen. Do better. Riot. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, Roblox. 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 Tracepot, the full disclosure, right? Full disclosure. Full disclosure, right? You know, GME might explode. GME might explode. Coke, yes, but some men are slow learners. Some, the odd one or two, yeah. What? Yeah, we did everything. It was amazing. It was incredible, in fact. It was kind of incredible. So, what are we thinking about Mullen then exactly? Jen put in a generous donation and mentioned that ticker. Did you see what my baby serve did? I didn't see what your baby serve did. I'm looking at Jen's baby, and it's a very pretty baby. They're all lovely babies. They're all beautiful babies. They're great babies. They smell nice. I'm glad you've all got lots of babies. It's great. I love that you've got babies. It's great. It's brilliant. More babies, the better. Babies are a beautiful thing. Brilliant. You've got babies, right? Love it. It's great. It's beautiful. Love that you've got babies. Brilliant. All beautiful babies. Oh, butterflies. It's a butterfly. Love the butterflies. I love that you've got little beautiful butterflies. It's brilliant. I'm going to check the serve butterfly in a minute then. For goodness sakes. Interesting levels on this thing, right? Interesting levels. 236 would also be in around here. A gap fill, right? Be in around a gap fill. So hard to argue with that. So it is. If this is in an uptrend right now that you're not interested in missing out on, no matter what, and you want to buy it no matter what, but you still kind of feel guilty buying things as soon as the money hits your account, and there is the area there at 142. That's a nice area. Right? It's a nice area. It's hard to argue with that area. It wouldn't argue back with you because it's not like that, right? It's not a thing, right? It doesn't argue. It doesn't even care, right? It really doesn't care. It couldn't care less because it doesn't care about anything. It's unfortunate, isn't it? So, yes, what were we looking at here? So there's potential entries. The 236 is down here on this other Fibonacci rate. Interesting there at 120. There's like washing people out of other trades that are like, I heard that this Mullen thing's beautiful. Can I have some? And then they panic. Oh no, it's not beautiful. They lied. That person who talked to me lied. Right? They don't even think that the person who told them just maybe didn't know, or had talked at a different price. They don't, right? They just see it drop down there from up here, and they're like, "Holy shit! That I was a car. I was going to buy a car, and now I've lost whatever the shit that is, right? I've lost all of that, and it's loads." And then they take it out, and everyone's like, "Those silly people. You should never have done it in the first place, right? Just this is not the place for you, right? It really isn't." And then you'd be getting in there, like, "Yeah, nice one. I got some of that." And then you'd be like, when it's way down here, it's a golden pocket, and someone's getting it 85 cents again. You're like, "How'd that happen?" Well, it's like fuckery, innit? They're all interesting levels. They're all interesting levels. The volatility's picked up on this. It's picked up on this. A great deal, so it has a great deal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it continues to go. Oh, look at that trade spot. And in terms of familiar pictures, right? It was in around here before this thing went crazy. In around here before this thing went crazy. Blah, 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 blah. And it broke down, right? And it followed this downward sloping channel. I could draw a supply line on the top side, but do you really care, right? Do you really care? In various areas. It's a 1.13 extension at the minute. That's what you'd be looking to go to. It's the horizontals. And then the trend with the lower lows, they're quite uniform. The highs, right? Get out of my face, thanks. So it's a downward sloping channel. Isn't that super interesting? Price action pushing up above the center line, right? It's been in negative territory for a long time. Peaks tend to be quite good for this thing, but they've been following this downward trend. Similarly, they've been following a downward trend. Volatility's been picking up, similar how it did back here in 2019 before everything went boing, boing, boing. Bing, bong, right? That's a big drop. And the volatility's picking up, and that, so maybe you do get a little bit of a surprise and downside as well, right? Which would be a significant, huge chunk down, 100% down there. If it went there, it would be. You don't necessarily anticipate doing that. I'm just saying, right? Just saying. There on the daily time frame, you can see that gap is in fact filled, right? And give or take a cent, and like close enough is near enough. Stretch it out, it's not actually close enough. When I stretch it out like this, it's like, nope, percentage is too big. It is 50, 152. Well, I mean, really, the percentage isn't too big. That's still way of describing it, but significant enough. 1.3, right? 1.3 is not too big for anything. Trade spotting. Anyway, yeah, maybe it has, right, what's this on anyway? CBOE, okay. Maybe that's done. Maybe it is. I'd be looking at it break this 50 simple at 240 and see if it goes on. And then you'd be like, crazy, brilliant. We're getting up to another 100%, and then 200 period moving average, another 100%, right? It could go all in one or two candles on daily 4 hour. Oh, volatility's gone mental. Price action pushing up here. Not managing to break though. Context of a downtrend, failing to break, but RSI being higher, but price action not. right? Is that bullish divergence? Because this is potentially an uptrend, right? Here's a high, here's a low, here's a higher low, but we've not put in a higher high. And like, where was the one previous to this? Well, it was higher. So, you know, kind of like really scraping the barrel there when you're looking for uptrends. It's like, what are you using? Like this one thing. Anyway, so that makes it even more important that you break above there. And that being at $2, like to see it price action go mental. But also, there's linear progression here that you could at least get some interest with. And they come in around 120 again, right? 50 simple, 120 below that gap, and you would no more questions about it. That and the chunk more test the bottom of the candle before where it opened this resistance area before it got there. That's significant, you know, it's significant, yo. And then it would be what, a 382. Yeah, and that would suggest continuation if it bounced from there, so it would probably be a good entry. And this the area managed risk plus a huge percentage move away from where it is at the minute, so it would be a good bargain if you got there. I'm not saying it's necessarily going it, but that'd be good if it did, yo. Be good if it did, yo, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, what's next? That's it really. It's serve next. Serve. The trades button is serve. This one. So, this one is a little bit question marks to be asked, right? Is it the top of a trend at the minute? It seems to be reaching a resistance area and posing a question about divergence. Would you need to test support subsequently? Has it already done that? You've had big moves. Interesting one. It's just risk is a lot higher than it has been at these horizontal levels below. If you do get a measured move out of this, it could take you way, way, way up here. Not even talking about 100% of that, just 60% of it is 100% on price. So, interesting there on Serve. Interesting. If that's the right ticker, I might have got the wrong one. And then, what was it you wanted to look at? Komodosh, where was it? BLBD. Bluebird. obviously also the 50 simple would be up around there at that stage. Perhaps you'd be looking for it to be a test of a potential golden cross coming through. And so there'd be a lot of price action in advance of that. I don't know which way it's going to go. But if it does extend beyond the top of this range, the place to enter would be on the test of the low side of things, which would be here, because you'd have an easier place to manage your risk. Obviously, the top side of that you don't. It would have to be subsequent to some sort of breakout, and you've missed most of the potential. So there would be your entry, and you'd be trying to manage your risk at that side of this trade, and you get yourself on the right side of it with all the different indicators going in your way. Maybe you'd be able to take that, and maybe you'd be able to tighten the risk even up. You probably would there. Above these lows and take it from this candle entry here. Say you've been around there, and you'd probably get more than that, and that's 6-1 plus. So there's a trade in there somewhere, the low side of the trend, and it might eventually lead to something that breaks out, and these would be the areas you'd be aiming for, which point you get a huge percentage move in advance of that happening. It could be that price action comes you back down and tests that 50% retrace. It should be slightly lower, and you might look to be this itself to be a bull flag, and it to put in, a continuation of this sort of pull. Depends how bullish you are, where you take it from, right? You can just do it from here. Breakout zone where it clearly had a different nature of price action, was very different characteristics there from before, right? Obviously. And we take that across and say that's potentially a measured move. It matches up with this horizontal level, so that's confluent. And you can see then that potentially is a bull flag. It's not having extended beyond here, right? It would be unnatural for that to be the overall formation you see. Like a bull flag just takes you up there in and of itself. Maybe you see some more range in price action in advance of it, and maybe that's a little bit much to ask for the full extent of that move. And maybe you do get it from in here, so you personally don't care, right? And that would be what you'd be looking to. The greater move on this thing might come, and I wouldn't suggest shorting it or that, but like the greater move might come when it's back down around that 50%, having made some attempt to get higher. And then at that point, you'd be able to manage your risk beyond, say, a golden pocket retracement with a target much higher. And go back to the weekly time frame. Take one of these extensions on, because it's in the macro uptrend, despite the fact that you've experienced extreme volatility. It's like, it is what is till it is what is, and here's your most recent significant high. It's an all-time high. So, and then you'd be looking to this retracement down from this high to this low. If it didn't break either of those within resolution, you see the 236. That's an important level within the trend. Here's the 618 at 21.43. Expect these to be like difficult areas to break through, which is why your 4-hour range will be found within those trappings. And then if you do break all of that, then you'd be aiming for huge moves up to around 47 or what. And that would be a trade to take from there. Where's that one? Is that the second one? Is that the first one? Drawing 2 long positions, yeah, or what? Yeah, there it is. And that's maybe the trade you're looking for, something up to these sort of levels, making it an adequate risk reward, and maybe something there, making it like interesting, and then, you follow it with a stop loss. Who knows, if you really believe in this thing. Right? I've never looked at his chart before. Then maybe you're looking at something like that. That would be a continuation of this trend. At that point, you'd be like, well, why is it up here? And why is it done so well? And does it really need that? Do we need any more of that? I'd look to the RSI, because in advance of all of that, you could go through a swing failure. You can see you've been through something dodgy here with bearish divergence at this part of the trend. That'll present resistance. Loads of different reasons. $26 to $28 is going to be tough to break through. Especially when you're putting in what this is like weak. There's a weak turnaround on RSI here. Touch of bullish divergence, but it's overall formation. You recovered above the center line, and that's great. And continue on, then in retrospect, it would look fantastic entry, but you would need sooner, right? Yeah, I mean, fair enough, right? You go through it in retrospect, it would look fine. Not managing to break above the 236 and be in the bullish control zone yet gives you the impression it could just break down. That would be bearishly divergent, between these. Well, not there, but anyway, whatever. Overall, it looks like it's put in a swing failure previously, so you really do want it to break above those levels. Should it get to the top of that side of the trend and get above just like, above 60% of this, which we already made reserved by taking the entry down at the bottom side of the flag, but you definitely want it to be making it above 786 and then pushing the 886. These horizontals are important at 26. I just don't see it breaking that in the near future. Get into the bullish control zone and we'll look at it at the time. Your entry would have to be beforehand, so that'd be one of the areas to manage it from, I suppose, unless you're already in from something like this here, in which case that's fine. You know, you could follow that up with a stop easily if you're below that 382 of this Fibonacci, anywhere your entry's below like 1760, then you know you could have a take profit there. It's not financial advice, right? It's just like, you know, if totally not having any emotions about it. If it comes back down again beyond this golden pocket here, like it's a different picture altogether, and maybe you're looking at a different trend. And I don't think that's happening because you're seeing accumulation along with divergence, and it's an uptrend, right? But like there's lower high, lower low, lower low. It is a downtrend in this turnip farm, and the RSI has spent the majority of it in the lower panel here, in the lower section, right, in the close to or in the bearish control zone. So, you know, you really do want to see it try and push higher, but that can be within this range in price action putting in a positive move, or it can be straight away from bull flag that it's already got most of, and then it could be a cup and handle with a positive move afterwards. That would be real big meaty trade. So interesting stuff there, that one. Thanks very much. And then we got a message in the meantime from Cobalt Misk, who said GME earnings tomorrow, GME earnings today, everybody. Thanks very much, Cobalt Misk. Appreciated. You're very good to me. You are very good to me. JS Super Chat 999 from a big fan, not fanny. Ha! Says you, JS. You still might be. Only jokes. Thanks. Very generous. Both of you consistently and nice to me. Thanks. Right. So I think we've covered that, right? And then somebody wanted to look at the was it Corey? Interesting. Oh, have a little look at this then. For goodness sakes, eh? Look at that. I had the audio on. Didn't realise. Pardon me. So, this one, you've got potential entry here. It might face a little bit of a retrace. It's quite extended now. Break through this area. Put in a doji candle, but continue. That's interesting. If you do pull back, your entry would be the open at that candle or the close of today's, right? Maybe you don't pull back and that's where you're going, but it's, tough entry if you're not in it yet. The 236 would be back around that zone. Go beyond what would be the golden pocket, then I wouldn't want to hold it anymore, but that could be the last entry. And that's not why I drew it on. It's relevant for horizontal levels. So you've got a good risk reward there from like various reasons. Don't know what, I mean, we've got a good area to manage risk with this risk. Managed, potentially you could find an entry. I don't know where you would particularly, like this is so far away to see the risk reward, but I can see it's only 3-1 or so. But you could take profit there, hitting the 200 period moving average and the 236 Fibonacci retracement from the top side. You would be testing these horizontal levels here at that stage. It would be an area to manage risk at, and then should it go on afterwards? Great, there's your golden pocket up there at $7. That's a huge, crazy, massive get the fuck out of town move. Pardon me. The thing you're looking at though is that has it put in enough of a bottom formation? It's done a lot of the measured. Moving everything all over the place. Put in a lot of the measured move that you would have expect from this overall head and shoulders. That the chart's just really fucking obvious, and you're at least coming down to test the neckline of this thing. You did it in this fallen wedge, right? Because of the nature of it, it was far too wide for it to already reach an apex at that area. So next time price action was down, lower low. RSI took it even lower as well. Nothing divergent about it. Started making what was potentially like the implied move you'd see from this, but there's also the danger it could go much more, which would be back down at these fucking destroyed levels. In advance of that, there's this area of support it never tested. Found support there, put in a couple of bullish moves in terms of its drops down and the divergence we see on the indicator, which gave it some impetus, but not enough to make it above horizontal levels that people not holding it for long enough to drive it up, and that not enough reasons to do it. And here you've got another opportunity. And is there enough reason to hold it beyond here? Right, it would be a higher high, but then you might want to come back in again, test some of these levels you broke out from subsequently, $2 or whatever. Should you make it up to 260? And so there's risk to be managed. Should it go up? And also, where do you find your entry at exactly? I mean, maybe you want the chocolate on your biscuit. You think that this trend has gone quite extended. It's been through a period of volatility. This is the bottom area of a range. Maybe it comes down here, finds support, having previously broken down, that would be bullish, and then goes up, and then you get like, something in there, and your entry isn't quite as high as this. So, that's the Fibonacci. Well, still, it's done its job. You keep your stop loss at the same place. Put your entry at the low side of that wick. Or you could take your entry way down to there. Well, like that. Really, really cheeky. Don't know if you're going to get it. I don't know. Like, it's already done what's positive formation candlesticks there. So that's that there, innit? What else have we got then? This is very much a crowdsourced show in all respects. There's Guitar outside. How you doing, buddy? Can someone link GME's donations to my YouTube as being a fanny? Oh yeah, I changed the descriptions there. It was like I was one of those. What was it? It was feeling like this. It was feeling like this song here. Feeling like this song here. So I was like, oh my god. No, that's not the song. That's me. And that's all various scenes that I've got nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. Ha ha ha. Somebody link me the link. Link me the link. co-op with twice. Just for you do it every day. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Okay, and thanks all the members. And thanks everybody on Patreon. Thanks everybody everywhere. Everywhere. Thank you, everybody, everywhere. Only love, even for the fannies. Look at that. There's shitloads of stars. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.